Can technology strengthen your Imaan? The secret most Muslims miss. Imagine a world where your phone, the very device you scroll endlessly, could guide you to Allah. Where notifications are not distractions, but reminders, and social media does not drown your soul, but elevates it. Today, I will tell you the story of Ahmed, a young man lost in a sea of apps, games, and endless feeds, until one night, something happened that changed his life forever. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what you are about to hear could change the way you see your screen, your life, and your faith. Ahmed was like any other young man in the bustling city of Karachi. His mornings began with the soft vibration of his phone, notifications greeting him even before the sun touched the horizon. Social media, news, endless feeds of entertainment, memes, videos, and messages. His life was a constant cycle of scrolling, liking, and swiping. Ahmed knew the feeling of emptiness that followed, a hollow void he could not name, no matter how many times he laughed at a video or shared a funny meme. Deep down, he remembered a time when he felt connected to something bigger, a feeling that was pure and undefiled. But the distractions of technology had stolen that connection, leaving him restless, anxious, and increasingly doubtful about faith. One night, Ahmed was lying awake, scrolling through his phone as usual, when he stumbled upon a video. It was titled, "Can Technology Strengthen Your Imaan?" Curiosity sparked in him. Normally, he ignored such things, but something deep inside urged him to click. The video started with a simple question: have you ever wondered if your phone could bring you closer to Allah instead of pulling you away? The voice was calm, yet intense, each word penetrating the quiet corners of his heart. Ahmed felt a strange mix of skepticism and hope. Could it really be possible? Could this very device, which seemed to control his life, be a tool for guidance instead of distraction? The video told stories of ordinary Muslims who had begun small but transformative habits. One man set his phone's reminders to alert him to recite Surah Al-Kahf every Friday, turning a mundane notification into a spiritual anchor. Another woman used her social media to follow Islamic scholars, listening to short lectures during her commute. Each story was simple, yet Ahmed felt a stirring within him, as though he had been offered a map out of the labyrinth of his own life. The next day, Ahmed decided to experiment. He started small, turning off all meaningless notifications, games, memes, irrelevant news, and replaced them with reminders for prayers, Quran recitation, and short dhikr. At first, it felt awkward. His fingers instinctively swiped through empty feeds, his mind restless, craving the digital noise he had grown addicted to. But gradually, a strange calm began to settle over him. His phone, once a source of anxiety, now became a subtle companion on his spiritual journey. It wasn't easy. One evening, Ahmed sat scrolling through a popular video platform, feeling the old pull of entertainment. A new notification flashed, a reminder from Islamic app he had installed. Remember Allah? Breathe. Reflect. At first, he ignored it, but the words lingered like a soft whisper in his mind. He put the phone down, closed his eyes, and found himself reciting Subhanallah almost automatically. The sound of his own voice echoed in the room, a sound he had long forgotten, and tears began to prick his eyes. The emptiness he had carried for years suddenly felt lighter, as if something inside him was waking up from a long sleep. Days turned into weeks, and Ahmed's routine began to change profoundly. He started following Islamic podcasts, watching short lectures during coffee breaks, and reading hadith summaries on his phone during idle moments. He discovered beautiful reminders about the mercy of Allah, the reward of small deeds, and the beauty of gratitude. His friends noticed a difference. Where once Ahmed had been distracted, anxious, and impatient, now he was calm, deliberate, and thoughtful. But Ahmed didn't stop there. He wanted to push further, to see how deep technology could really take him. One night, he stumbled upon an online live session with a renowned Islamic scholar. The topic was the miracles of the Quran in the modern world, especially the scientific insights hidden within its verses. Ahmed listened intently, his eyes wide with amazement as the scholar explained verses about embryology, astronomy, and the natural world. Knowledge confirmed only centuries later by modern science. The screen glowed softly in the dark room, illuminating Ahmed's face, which reflected awe and reverence. He realized that his phone, the same device he had blamed for wasting his life, had become a window to knowledge and divine wisdom. Ahmed began documenting his journey. He used apps to track his prayers, record dhikr, and even memorize Quranic verses. Each completed task brought him joy, a deep sense of accomplishment that was spiritual rather than digital. For the first time in years, he felt alive in a way that was unshakable. One night, as he reflected on his transformation, he realized the truth. Technology in itself was neither good nor evil. It was a mirror, reflecting the state of one's heart. If used mindfully, it could be a powerful tool to draw closer to Allah. If abused, it could pull one further into despair. But Ahmed's journey did not stop at personal transformation. He began sharing what he had learned with his friends, family, and online followers. He made short, emotional videos showing how even the busiest person could use technology to strengthen their iman. Slowly, his community began to respond. Messages of gratitude poured in, with people sharing their own experiences of using phones, apps, and social media to deepen their faith. Ahmed realized that in this digital age, guidance could travel faster than distractions if only one used the tools wisely. One particular evening stood out in Ahmed's memory. He had been struggling with a period of doubt, questioning whether his efforts were enough. That night, he opened a Quran app and recited Surah Al-Baqarah, pausing at a verse that spoke directly to his heart. Indeed, Allah will not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. Tears streamed down his face as he understood the lesson. The change had begun within him, and technology was just the instrument that reflected and amplified that inner transformation. The transformation was not instant or effortless. Ahmed still faced moments of temptation, moments when old habits crept back in. But now, he had tools and strategies, reminders and reflections that helped him realign with his faith. Every notification that once brought distraction now carried the potential for guidance. Every idle scroll could turn into a moment of learning, reflection, or dhikr. The phone that had once been a cage became a bridge. Months passed, and Ahmed's life changed in ways he had never imagined. He felt more connected to Allah, more patient, more grateful. His relationships improved as he became more attentive and compassionate toward others. He realized that the real lesson of technology was not in the device itself, but in intention. If one approached it with mindfulness and purpose, even the most distracting tools could become instruments of guidance, drawing one closer to the divine. In the end, Ahmed understood a profound truth. The modern world, with all its devices, apps, and constant notifications, need not be a battlefield for the soul. It could be a classroom, a mirror, and a guide. Technology, when paired with intention, knowledge, and reflection, could strengthen Imaan in ways unimaginable, a truth that could inspire millions in the digital age. And Ahmed, once lost in endless feeds and notifications, had discovered a deeper connection, not just with his device, but with his creator. As he looked at his phone one evening, a soft glow illuminating his face, he whispered, "Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, La ilaha illallah." And in that moment, he knew that technology, if wielded with care, could indeed be a bridge to Allah, rather than a barrier. In the end, Ahmed understood a profound truth. The modern world, with all its devices, apps, and constant notifications, need not be a battlefield for the soul. It could be a classroom, a mirror, and a guide. Technology, when paired with intention, knowledge, and reflection, could strengthen Imaan in ways unimaginable, a truth that could inspire millions in the digital age. And Ahmed, once lost in endless feeds and notifications, had discovered a deeper connection, not just with his device, but with his creator. As he looked at his phone one evening, a soft glow illuminating his face, he whispered, Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, La ilaha illallah. And in that moment, he knew that technology, if wielded with care, could indeed be a bridge to Allah rather than a barrier.